Hello, I'm Nathaniel Lee, and this is my G4K presentation about JavaScript. How do I know what G4K want? In order to know what G4K want, you have to research about the company, such methods as observations and questionnaires. G4K want an informative game for children aged 9 and above that is about a programming language. The programming language used in this quiz will be JavaScript. The methods that are used, that institutions use to determine what their clients are looking for in a project. One of these methods are FAST1. FAST1 stands for Facilitated Application Specification Technique 1. The main priorities of this method is to identify any problems in the initial proposal, propose elements of a working solution, different approaches, and finally set preliminary objectives/requirements. Other methods are QFD1, 2, 3, and FAST2. They all offer slightly different approaches to determining a client's requirements. However, FAST1 will be the most beneficial in these circumstances for this project. How would you engage with G4K to show progress? The main way to demonstrate progress is to create a Gantt chart. However, you can also create a storyboard. This project, however, Gantt charts are useful to show the complexity of tasks for a project. They also show the length of time each task will take and how many tasks there are. Gantt charts have this advantage also as well. They can become very complicated if the task is too long or full of lots of smaller tasks. Gantt charts can become very big and difficult to manage, and they only display the amount of time needed to complete and do not show difficulty, effort, or number of staff required to complete a task. To this project not being overly complex, this a Gantt chart option, as it would meet the demands of the project perfectly. The quiz for this game currently has 3 levels. However, this number may rise with additions to the project in the future. Each of these levels will have 5 questions and have a different topic per level. Currently, level 1 is JavaScript fundamentals, level 2 is JavaScript coding questions, and level 3 JavaScript error finding. All of these questions will be to a very basic and only show very fundamental basics, as this is for children and we will not want to complicate it too much for them. How will you test your game? Testing is a mandatory part of the game's development process. There are many methods of testing. However, only 4 have been considered for the development of this game. The 4 that have been considered are white box testing, black box testing, beta testing, and finally regression testing. White box testing is a testing method in which the tester has access to the source code and can make sure all the code is correct and working properly. Black box testing is a testing method where the tester has only access. They will play it to find glitches and any other errors that are wrong with the game. Not have access to the source code. Beta testing is increasingly more popular with developers and is very similar to black box testing in that the testers, who are the public in beta testing, anybody can enter a beta test. It's usually the people who are most likely to purchase the final product though, and their role is to give the developers feedback, tell them how to improve the game, and to say if there are any glitches or anything in the game. The difference between beta testing and black box testing is that black box testing is specifically a game tester to test it, and not any member of the public. The last testing method, the regression testing method. This method recognizes fixing current code problems will often create new ones. To prevent a new error occurring, the tester will rerun the software to ensure it still works correctly. This can become very costly and time-consuming, with the software being constantly rerun, which takes up a lot of time. The testing method that has been selected for this project is a combination of white and black box testing. These testing methods have been selected as they will reduce the number of errors in the program to a minimum and ensure the game works properly. Also, it can be undertaken by one person, minimizing the workload and it's complete. Had the audience for this game have been bigger and the game had been available online, which it is, beta testing would have been selected. Due to the audience being so small, beta testing is not a viable option. What methods have been used to find out what we need to know? There have been a number of methodologies used in this project, one of which is the RAD, Rapid Application Development Process, which is a fast development process that puts less emphasis on planning and more emphasis on actual development. Conventional methods such as waterfall allows developers to stay on one stage development process until it has been completed. It also allows the movement back to redo areas of the development process to help reduce the costs. This reduces costs as RAD takes into account that areas of the development process will have to be redone, and takes into account when figuring out the costs. Features of the RAD application or the rapid application approach: gathering requirements, prototyping, the reuse of software components, rigidly placed schedule, and less formality in reviews. How you selected your programming language? There were two possible programming languages that were going to be selected. The candidates were JavaScript and PHP. The programming language that was selected was JavaScript. This is because I personally have most experience with it, and JavaScript is an appropriate language as it is client-side, which means it is better at things like hiding or showing text or images, which is better for this project as popping up text images that are hidden in the background will be much easier to show comparatively to PHP. Before this module and this course in general, I had very little prior experience with the programming language. I did have a basic knowledge of HTML, C++, and JavaScript, but it was not at any sort of useful level. This module so far has been very challenging, but has helped me very much and has been very rewarding, helping me learn programming languages. I'm hopeful that the next module will continue to teach me new programming languages and new things. So far in this module, we have learned HTML, JavaScript, C#, Python, Scratch, and PHP. Thank you for listening. This was Nathaniel Lee's quiz for IT 113, assignment 1.